Hey, this is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. I'm talking to Kathy. And Kathy, give us your full name your company, just a little bit about who I'm talking to so we can set this up. Then I'll ask the question.
Okay, hi, my name is Kathy Durfee. I'm the CEO and founder of TechHouse, been around about 30 years, and we do IT and business process consulting.
I love it. And tell us about, you said TechHouse?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more. TechHouse, tell me a bit more about that company and then about you. Tell us a bit more.
Okay, all right. So I started the company about 30 years ago. We had our first child, and she wasn't doing well. And so I told my employer I needed to work from home, but that was not an option. They said I had to come back or I had to resign, so I resigned.
I love it. And tell us a little about your background and tech background. Tell me a bit more about you, and then I'll dive into the question of the day.
Sure, absolutely. So I started out when I was at university. I was in chemistry, organic chemistry. I discovered a crystal. I loved it. Full ride to the PhD program.
You discovered a crystal. You got to say that slow. That's big stuff.
Okay.
I mean, that's huge. Okay, go ahead.
I really loved it very much.
Wow.
I had a disagreement with my professor, and I was 20 or whatever, so I dropped out.
Okay.
And I went and I got a master's in English Lit and Poetry.
Nice. Okay.
And it just wasn't able to get a job and pay bills. So at that time, if you had a good background in math and science, people would teach you how to do programming. So that's what I did. I got into programming. That started my tech career.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being with us today. So one thing you said, and again, we're talking about AI and more, and data privacy has been important for ages. But you called out, I'll remain nameless. You're welcome to call whoever name you want.
Okay.
But you called out a few companies that were like, hey, you did say good for Microsoft Copilot. I will call them out. You said, I use Microsoft products because they're kind of good with data privacy. My words, not yours, but that's the essence of it. And you said kind of some other companies may be buying and selling our data. Can you just recap that? That's the nugget I wanted to get, that it seems like some brands or companies, not only with AI, but all the software we've been using, kind of they're buying or selling or something with their data, but you're like, no, some brands, as far as you know, your data's maybe more secure. Can you just unpack what I'm trying to ask you to our audience? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. So the way to think about it, in my opinion, is to think about how does this business make their money? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be here if they're not making money.
Absolutely.
So what I care about is how are they making money? And nothing's free. I mean,
Absolutely.
maybe there's an intro offer, but at the end of the day, they have to make money or they can't pay their bills. So I need to understand how are they making their money.
Okay.
In the Microsoft world, the reason I feel more confident with them, with AI, is that historically they make their money on tools.
Right. They sell us software, OS, Windows, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's important to me. Other companies make their money by buying and by selling data, to some degree buying but selling data. There are only three main providers of what are considered the foundational or the three main AI models. And right now, it used to be land is where money was. Data is where money is today. There are three foundational models. That's it. Most likely you're not building a foundational model. You're going to have to use one of theirs. So there's already a consolidation of wealth and, dare I say, power associated with these three AI foundational models. And then from there, people can build models on top. Okay. And I don't think anyone's wondering if AI is going away. That's where everything's at. So the question is, who do I want to trust with my data? Because your data, my data, your data, all our data is valuable. It's information. And when we talk about data, what are we talking about? Well, as individuals, certainly who we are. And the actions we take are influenced by the information or data that we receive. So when they receive information about us, think about classic advertising, right? In classic advertising, they send you information with the intent of hopefully you're going to take an action by a particular product. That's what information is being used for, to help influence action so that somewhere along the line somebody's making money. So yeah, it's all about the data, the money's in the data, and these models, these computer brains, these artificial intelligence models, they are more powerful the more information they have. So the question is, who do you want to share your information with, and can you trust them not to monetize your information?
Got it. And so to dive deeper in that just a little bit, I don't want to get too geeky because I could pretend to be a geek, but like the real geeks are there. It's good. Okay, good. Yeah. So if I type in, how do I make Oreo cookies? And these are my words, not yours. You correct me. If I type in how do I use Oreo cookies, what Kathy's saying, any platform you can do that on. Don't worry about it. Again, I'll be done in a minute here. But if I'm taking my 500-page customer list of data and all this, that's where you want to think about it. Did I set that stage? Is that kind of about right? If I'm typing in, which park should I go to in Korea? I use anything. Don't matter. They can. But if you're taking just a business purpose, you're putting your company on there. You're saying that be a bit more cautious. Am I?
Yeah, okay. I would say pretend there's a big billboard, and the people looking at that billboard are hackers and your competitors. They're looking at the billboard.
Okay.
If it's okay to you to have that information on that billboard, then you don't care about privacy.
Got it. And then, so I understand it again. Without, I mean, you're welcome to mention names, but the companies that are not as good as, let's say today, you're saying Microsoft and Copilot, other brands, big brands out there we know. You're saying if I put my spreadsheet up there, what are they selling? How does that work? How does that? I don't know, because they're not. I'm assuming they're not caring about my one spreadsheet. There's billions of data. They're not taking that one thing and selling it. So how does it work? How does it? What is the fear?
So imagine this AI engine, this AI model is actually an intern on your team.
Fair enough.
So it's still a brain, right? But instead of being an artificial brain, it's a human brain with an intern. Okay. And let's say that intern overhears a conversation where one of your employees is talking about a VIP customer in a not very happy way.
Perfect. Okay.
They've had a really bad interaction. Okay. And they hear that. You don't want them repeating.
Wow.
If they're at an event and someone says, "Have you ever met this VIP?" They'd be like, "No, but you know what? I do know something about them." Blah, blah, blah. And they retell that story.
And so somebody else
There's
using
no
it,
filter.
typing it in, that result could pop up somewhere else, maybe not even citing you, because it may not cite you, but it will be there. And you're like, wow, they have the secret sauce that I talked about a year ago, 6 months ago. It's showing up in a prompt result because you uploaded. Is that about more or less?
It could be a secret sauce, but I think another one is those difficult, a lot of people are using the different chat engines to resolve emotional things, difficult human interactions.
I do that sometimes.
Right? Oh, so-and-so customer, I'm struggling how to respond to them. They're really, arrogant or irritating today. This is the customer. This is what they do. How can I reply?
Got it.
And someone says, hey, such and such customers, there ever been a vendor that's had trouble talking with them? What about?
Got it. I appreciate that. Kathy, anything else? I asked you a lot today. Thanks for talking about privacy, but I'll give you a chance to summarize anything in your heart, anything that hey, Ramon, here's what I always say. I know this a lot, but I just want to give you a chance to close us out and then repeat what your company does and where we can find you. But first, feel free to leave us with something else. Anything you want to...
I would like to say that the models are learning from whatever's been digitized, so which means anything on the internet. So think about what you put on the internet, because you are the role model or one of the many role models for the artificial intelligence that's continuing to learn. So let's all be our best selves so we can have the best AI possible.
Got it. And Kathy, one more time, give us the name of your company, who you want to work with, how we can reach you. Feel free to tell us that one more time, please.
Absolutely. The company name is TechHouse. We are firm believers in the power of small business. So if you're a small business and you're interested in business advice, technology consulting, cloud security, AI, we'd love to be of help.
I appreciate this. And I'm Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.